let's look at some of the themes developed in Middlemarch. Middlemarch is about failed heroism. It's about abortive, miscarried heroism. Dorothea begins her life with a big dream, but ends settling for mediocre choice in marrying Reverend Edward Casaubon. Casaubon is planning to write a book that will unlock the meaning of all religious beliefs, but he never goes beyond taking notes. Dr. Tertius Lydgate expects to make serious research and make a name for himself as a doctor, but ends up being a doctor to the rich. And Will Ledslaw, Casaubon's cousin, who is thought to have some spark of genius in him, ends having an average and ordinary competence in writing speeches for politicians. Mediocrity is thus plaguing all, afflicting all, harassing all. We are then disappointed by those who think are heroes and who end up being rather failed heroes. And in Middlemarch, one's background works against one's plans. People are at the mercy of their backgrounds. One's background becomes one's source of disaster. Nicholas Bulstrode, the banker, is damaged by his poor childhood, by his having been penniless when a child. He's greedy for power and influence because he lacked them when young and poor. Lydgate is the victim of his misunderstanding of women, the victim of his false assumptions about women. Dorothea is also the victim of her sex, of her class, and of her society. She cannot lead the life of her choice. Each person is, however, accountable for his or her actions. There is then no free will. People in Middlemarch often choose the wrong marriage partners. Partners are often ill-matched, mismatched, incompatible in their goals, needs, and desires. Dorothea marries Casaubon because she thinks he has a great mind and she wants to help a great man. Casaubon, on the other hand, thinks God has sent him Dorothea to help him accomplish his great work. So Dorothea and Casaubon see each other only as the projections of their respective desires and needs, hence the failure of their marriage. The second ill-matched couple is that of Lydgate and Rosamond. While Lydgate, Middlemarch's new arrived doctor, wants an ornamental wife to embellish his career ambitions, Rosamond wants rather an attractive outsider with aristocratic connections. So each thinks only of his or her own agenda, hence the failure of their marriage. Mary Garth, however, sees Fred Vincy very clearly from the beginning. She knows he has a weak character, but she loves him. She refuses to marry him until he gets a worthy job. And Fred sees Mary Garth clearly too. He knows she is very beautiful, but she's not beautiful, but he loves her and cares for her true self and character. Mary and Fred, as a couple, have been suitable to each other since childhood. George Eliot is believed to have thought that social conventions are suffocating, that social conventions are restrictive to women. Ladies are thought to know nothing of politics and that they are not thinkers. Middlemarch is said to have received a lot of criticism from female writers of the period because the ending of the novel is disheartening, disappointing. Though she has an intelligent mind and a noble soul, Dorothea, who is portrayed as the heroine of the novel, doesn't break free from society's pressure on women. Gossip is seen spreading like cancer in the town of Middlemarch, and people find pleasure in the misery of others. It's gossip that ruins both Bulstrode and Lydgate, though Lydgate hasn't done anything wrong. Lydgate is becoming the victim of character assassination. Community is good, togetherness is beautiful, but there is also ugliness and delight in people's misfortunes, in tearing people apart, in shredding them.